Hello and welcome to the channel. Today is the 1 year anniversary of this channel and my birthday. So to celebrate, we're going to take a look at my top 14 favorite LEGO minifigures I've ever made on this channel. Now some of them haven't actually appeared in videos, but they probably will in the future. Anyways, thank you for subscribing if you are, and enjoy! Coming in at number 14 is my Freddy Krueger figure. I do really like this figure. I think I did a pretty good job on him. I just don't like the fact that you can see like some of the printing through that. But that's really my only complaint with him. I could have done a bit better on the face paint job, but I do like the use of kind of the paper clips up there, or the fact that I painted an entire black fedora. And yeah, I just think he's a bit too simple looking, and he looks not entirely like Freddy Krueger, but I still really like how I did make this figure. Coming in at number 14 is my updated Pamela Voorhees figure. Now this is from the new Crystal Lake mock that I'm making on my channel, which will come out soon enough, I hope. But yeah, I really like this figure. It uses the simple vest pattern. I did change out the face and hair. This hairpiece is a LEGO Harry Potter black hairpiece that I had to entirely paint because I didn't have it in that tan color. This is just a normal Brick Harms hunting knife. And the face also has the shocked expression. And that's because you can actually do that to the figure. And what I like is the fact that even though it's like a stump, like the head still stays on relatively well. You need a bit of force to pull it off. And I think the paint job under that's pretty good. I put a little glue on that and gave it like the white piece for the bone. And yeah, I really like how this turned out as Pamela Voorhees, a lot better than my original Pamela. And hopefully you get to appreciate it in the mock that I built for it. Coming in at number 12 is my LEGO Michael Myers figure. Now this figure has appeared on the channel, but it was in a short little video of what should I make next, which didn't get as many comments as I was hoping for. But I do really want to make a mock with this guy in the future. I like the fact I cut the little piece off there that should be on that hairpiece to give him like the Michael Myers hairpiece. This was actually the first ever LEGO body I made for like a custom horror figure. So I made a Michael Myers, but the face wasn't too good, so I swapped that out, changed it around. I gave him a new knife, which is my Friday the 13th Part 3 knife, because I think it looks pretty good. And yeah, I really like how I did the detailing on the face for him, if you can see that. And I just think it's a really well done looking Michael Myers, and I am really proud of this figure. I just really hope I get to do something with him in the future. Coming in at number 11 is Jack from The Shining. I do really like this figure. It was really hard to do the face because I had to take a Professor Moody face, which if you don't know, this face usually has the tongue like out. So I had to completely erase the tongue with a toothpick and then redo the paint job on that, which I think I did really well. I had little strands of hair and like the little blood coming off the head. I repainted the eyebrows just a bit to give him kind of that more insane look. I am going to make a new fire axe for him when I finally use this figure. The only thing that doesn't put him further up the list is the paint job on the body. I don't know what it was about the paint, but it just wasn't sticking like it usually would, so it looks a bit more blotchy this time around than I would have liked it to. But other than that, I do really like this figure. We've reached the top 10, and starting it off is my Ghostface figure. Now, this figure hasn't appeared on the channel, but he's going to soon. I really like how I made him. It's just normal LEGO black cape. There's literally no paint anywhere but the hood part. And what this is a LEGO stud. I sanded down an exponential amount, actually. So I sanded down the LEGO stud a whole ton. You can see it around the edges and stuff. And this is the end of a LEGO fire helmet that I also cut off and sanded and kind of glued together on there. You can see that underneath it, it's that, so that the hood can stay on. And then, yeah, I sawed a bit under the hood. This is my original Michael Myers knife, but I think it looked a lot better for Ghostface, especially because it has that bit near the blade. And yeah, I really love this Ghostface figure. It was a big challenge to kind of, make its looks. But I do think it looks good, especially from a distance, and you can't see a little crease in that. And yeah, that's my Ghostface figure. Coming in at number 9 is my newspaper reading alien from They Live. I really like the simplicity of the newspaper here with the simple little obey thing. And I have made a couple of other aliens for this, but by far he's my favorite. I think I did the best on his face. He looks pretty creepy. I like that I didn't add eye shine to make the aliens look kind of less human like they are in the film. He's got the yellowed teeth along with the hands that I painted. I like the fact that I found this blue paint that matches almost directly with like the Lego blue that I use for these figures, and I use a normal Lego tuxedo. And I think this all just really comes together for the figure. So yeah, he's my favorite figure out of my They Live set, and that's about it. Coming in at number 8 is the Norris Thing, including the head, because that's kind of part of it, from my Lego The Thing video. It has all these spider legs made of wire. I like the fact I used hands for the chest cavity, so that it really looks all gross. The way I used the hot glue going all the way up the body to give it that kind of bubbly and stringy effect it has in the movie. I just really like how I made this main figure, and he's somehow the lowest of all the Thing figures, you know. But yeah, he has the 2 heads that make up his upper section. The only thing I don't like about these 2 figures is the hair. I could have found a better hair, but I just didn't have it. And then my head thing has the 2 ends of hands as the eyes. It also has a little bit of green stuff coming out of the neck like it does in the movie, along with the actual Lego spider legs I used on it, and the just kind of shocked face right there. So yeah, I really like how both of these figures turned out, and that's just the lowest from my Thing creations. Coming in at number 7 is my Lego Jason Lives kind of NECA figure that I made. Now, I do really like this figure. One thing I liked about both the Lego NECA figures I made was the boxes I made for him. These are really hard to make, but I just love how these things turned out. You know, you can open them up with the stuff I made in mecha bricks for him. But, you know, more onto the figure, you can see I put a lot of detail into him. I used like the real string and the belt, which I have the knife holder on, which I really like, because that actually holds the knife. I like the mask. It was one of my first attempts at making a Jason mask on this channel, and you just use tape and the end of a helmet, and just kind of saw it off, and then you have a working mask that can come on and off. I like the way I remade the face for the figure, and the way I made the fence post for him. The only thing I don't really like is how the machete holder doesn't work, and how I didn't paint the back. But other than that, this is probably my second favorite Lego Jason figure I've made, and the first one is a lot higher in this list, so stay tuned for that. Coming in at number 6 are both versions of the scientist from The Fly. I really like these because they're kind of instantly recognizable, especially if you've seen the film, mainly the Fly version. I like how I used the Lego minifigure series Fly to my advantage in this, using the crab claw that came with it along with the head. I also like the way I used basically the same kind of paint job for both of these to give them that look. And yeah, they're extremely simple figures, and I think that's what I like about them most, is they're from one of my favorite classic sci-fi movies from like the 60s, and they're super simple, but I just really like them for it. I think they look really good, and yeah. Coming in at number 5 now is the Palmer Thing. This is my second favorite thing from my The Thing video, and the first one I made. I really like the way I just split the Lego thing right down the middle, and put all the hot glue in there to make it look all stringy and the gross looking teeth. And the wire that's coming straight out of it is the tongue, and especially the flame pieces I used to fray his hands out like they do in the film. I don't think the torso is, the most accurate, but he was wearing kind of a denim vest in the film. And yeah, I just love how the Palmer Thing turned out in my opinion, and I think it's one of my best looking custom minifigures I've really ever made. Most of my Thing ones are. Those were the ones I put a whole lot of effort into. So when the video blew up like it did, I was super happy, because out of all my videos, it was the one I wanted to blow up the most. Coming in at number 4 is my Lego Harry Warden figure from My Bloody Valentine, which is the original. I really like the way I used the Lego Black Mana hose piece, along with a few stud pieces, like a stud piece I stand down here, and a end of a Harry Potter wand I put on there to make his kind of face apparatus. I love the way I used the Lego pickaxe, the way I made it here, which is a Lego kind of katana piece that I cut, and a bar. And I think the Valentine's card looks really nice. This is a very clean looking figure in my opinion. I love the helmet I used for him, because I took a Lego Miner's helmet and cut it all the way around. I feel like this is one of my first figures I started using really ambitious pieces on, which led into me using, like the stud for Scream, or a lot of the things I used for my Thing figures. And this is really the first figure I started experimenting with using other Lego pieces to make these things for, and I think it turned out great for him. Starting off, the final 3 is my Marion Crane figure from Psycho. This is one of the first custom figures I showed off on the channel, and I'm really happy with it. It took me a long time to do, but I like how it is. I didn't choose Norman because I think my Norman figure, while good, just isn't as good as my Marion figure at capturing, the actress. I'm really happy I had this gray hairpiece, and the way I painted this down gave the short sleeves and the skirt. I made this figure, this is the first figure that I really, tried super hard on to make look good, and I was super proud of this figure when I finished it. It was the first one I started painting with thumbtacks instead of toothpicks for the face. That's how I got the details so clean on it, and most of my other figures, I'll paint the face with thumbtacks. And yeah, I'm just really happy overall with this figure, and my entire Psycho mock in general, and I'm really happy that not my most popular video on my channel, has become a pretty popular video nevertheless. Coming in at number 2 is my Lego NECA version of the Friday the 13th Part 3 Jason. I think I did a lot better on the box for this one. I had a bit more experience. It didn't print as wonky on the back, and I think it looks really nice. But more onto the figure as well. This is my nicest looking Jason figure. I think the holes are the exact right size on the mask, the eyes, the chevrons. I really love the way I made both of his faces with the 2 hands on the forehead to give him that deformed look he has in the film. I think the blood's really well done. It's completely blank on the back like I like on some of my figures. And I just really love this figure. I love the custom weapons I made for him. I display him with the spear gun. And I just think he looks a lot like the Jason in the film. That's my opinion. But I remember being super proud of this figure when I made him, and I still am. Before I get to number 1, I have a few honorable mentions. The first one is my R.J. McCready figure from The Thing. I really like how he turned out. I had to sand down the back of this to get kind of the flamethrower in. But he didn't make the top 10 because he's just not as cool as some of my other figures. So that's for R.J. McCready. There's the Head Crab Zombie and Gordon Freeman from my Lego Half-Life thing. I really like how they turned out. I think the paint job's a little messy on the head crab, and I could have done a bit better on the glasses for Gordon. But other than that, they look pretty good. I just don't think they were as fairly matched against some of the other things I made for this list. But if I had 2 more slots, they'd definitely be in it. Last of the honorable mentions is the kind of two-faced police officer from my They Live thing. This is the second best face I made for that set, and I really like the fact he's kind of split down the center for the kind of gimmick I have in that set. But, I don't know, I think using the angry clone face wasn't the best, and he just looks okay compared to the other They Live figure I have on this list, so that's why I didn't include him. Now, this might come as a shock, but my number 1 favorite minifigure isn't actually a minifigure. It's my dog thing from my Lego The Thing video. And that's because I really like how it turned out. I painted a normal Lego dog to look like a Lego Husky, because I only had 1 Lego Husky. And I loved the way I used these Lego pieces that were like spikes to split open the face. I think I did a really good job on the open face of that. I love just the paint job I did. This paint job took me about 1.5 hours to just fully coat and make look good, especially matching the gray color. I think the detail with the wires and the hot glue for all the little tendrils it has looks really good, especially from the front, right? And that's why it's my favorite figure. It's probably my most good looking and most detailed in terms of blood and accuracy to the film, and I just love the way it looks. Anyways, thank you for watching this video. If you're wondering, I'm going to kind of zoom out and show where I film. I have to move all my Lego stuff to this side to film most of my videos, and this is what I film it with. I just always make a little Lego stand. This is my kind of ranking system for all the figures, and then above that is my NECA figures, and my Lego Ghostbusters Firehouse, and then down there is my Stranger Things set. So this is where I always film. It's right next to this window, which is how I get all the light in. But nevertheless, thank everyone who's subscribed over this past year. It's been really amazing to have YouTube subscribers over, 5, which I had for the first bit of my channel. I'm pretty sure I got CS5 Unmasked to subscribe to my channel, which is absolutely huge. It was such a big surprise when he said he had subscribed to my channel. It was just such a cool thing. If you haven't seen his videos, he makes these cool Jason costume tutorials, which I really like. Next week, I'm going to have my Lego Crystal Lake mock, and yeah, I'm going to give another big thank you to just everyone who's subscribed or watched my videos and helped some of them, like my Christine video or the Thing video, blow up. And that's about it. Bye.